What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Phoenix here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 informational video. And today is a fantastic day because, as you guys know, we got the story trailer for Marvel Spider-Man 2, and along with that, we also got our boy James Stevenson, the community director over at Insomniac Games, coming out on the PlayStation blog and saying this. The trailer sets up our story in the game while also giving you your first full look at the monstrous Venom in Marvel's New York. Here's Marvel Spider-Man 2 Senior Narrative Director John Paquette to offer a deeper look. At the beginning of our story, our Spider-Men are at the top of their game, said Paquette. But both Peter Parker and Miles Morales are struggling with their personal lives. Miles is trying to find time to write his college entrance essay, but he keeps procrastinating and focusing on spider work instead. Meanwhile, Peter is underwater on payments for Aunt May's house, but he can't sell. It means too much to him, and just like Miles, Peter tries to find balance with so many responsibilities. MJ wants to help Pete with the mortgage, but her job is on the line now that J. Jonah Jameson is back at the Bugle and looking to clean house. Our heroes arrive at a confluence of crossroads with uncertain futures and some tough decisions ahead. Clearly meaning that they are trying to find their way. As you guys know, Miles is trying to go to college. Potentially, I'm predicting ESU. And as you guys know, Peter's trying to pay the mortgage off on Aunt May's house. But along with that, we also did get more information on MJ in here because, as you guys know, she is an associate editor for the Bugle. But following that, it also says, when Kraven's hunters arrive in the city, it sets off a mystery of why they are there and who and what they are hunting. But as the Spider-Man and MJ dig deeper into Kraven's motivations, the symbiote begins to threaten Marvel's New York and everyone and everything they hold dear. As many of you noticed in Marvel Spider-Man 2's gameplay trailer from the PlayStation Showcase in May, Peter's new black suit affected his personality and gives him new, powerful symbiote abilities. You see bits of that in this trailer as well. You can see Peter's symbiote powers tax his relationships with Miles, MJ, and Harry. Clearly, this is a sign that he's going to be pushing them away as well. This has to be a sign because, one, we already know for a fact that the symbiote wants to just bond with Peter and it wants to pretty much just be with Peter, and Peter's going to start thinking that he can do this by himself and it's going to tap into his negative emotions and stuff like that. But following that, we also have massive spoilers for 2018's Marvel Spider-Man ahead. It says, given how much Miles Morales looks up to Peter for mentorship and guidance, this creates further problems beyond trying to figure out what's next for his life. Miles continues to struggle with the death of his father at the hands of Martin Lee, aka Mr. Negative. As you saw from the trailer, you haven't seen the last of Mr. Negative, which hands down is very interesting because, as you guys know, in that trailer, we saw what looks to be, and this is what I'm guessing, what looks to be for the fact that Martin Lee is escaping from the raft. So my thing is for a fact, like, if you guys look at that image in that trailer, if you guys look at those like 5 seconds, Miles says, you took everything away from me or something like that. I can't remember what he said. But that is going to be a very interesting idea because, for one, Miles has now come face to face with his father's killer. But following that, it says, we asked Senior Creative Director Brian Insahar about some of the new abilities that players will get to use in Marvel Spider-Man 2. And he said this. He said, we've always thought of our spider heroes as acrobatic improvisers. And in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we wanted to equip them with new ways to do so during combat, said Insahar. This includes Peter's spider arms and symbiote powers, while Miles now brings new forms of bioelectric venom to every fight. And you start combining these abilities with all new spider gadgets like the web grabber, it can lead to some exciting combos. This trailer also provided some new looks at our expanded Marvel's New York. Now you'll be able to swing across the East River and explore Brooklyn and Queens, Coney Island makes its debut as well in the trailer, and we can't wait for you to explore it. And one way you can explore is with the web wings. Let's hear from our senior creative director, Ryan Smith. Now, before we get into Ryan Smith's part, hands down, just based off of hearing that alone, it makes me seem like, since Brian said that the web grabber is going to lead some exciting combos, we already saw what it was like in the PlayStation Showcase in that warehouse sequence with Miles. Now, imagine what they're going to be able to do with that when the game comes out, because that's just a small fraction. But following that said, we are excited for people to try out the web wings, says Smith. Plus, it was a cool opportunity to bring something people haven't seen in the comics and movies and integrate it in the game. Swinging is the core of our Spider-Man traversal. So we designed the web wings to work with swinging and complement it. That way you can weave back and forth between the two to build up speed and height. When you use the web wings with our wind tunnels, though, that's one of the ways to go across the city super fast and really push the speed of traversal, which was one of our goals thanks to the power and speed of the PS5. Web wings add another layer to our traversal system and change up how you look at getting around the city, which the traversal system, you already know, I'm going to be using the web wings a lot because I'm a huge fan of traversal, and hearing for the fact that you can change up how you can get around the city and hearing how fast it's going to go is going to be insane. Like, I'm wondering if you can get like extra height on those, because I want to see what that's like. But following that, it says, obviously we got some more information on the collector edition. It says, if you still haven't pre-ordered yours, be sure to check with direct.playstation.com or in countries that aren't serviced by Direct or your local retailer. We asked both Brian and John about bringing such an iconic Marvel character like Venom to life in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Our philosophy has always been that we want to respect the history of the franchise and the Spider-Man DNA, but also not be afraid to mix things up, said Intihar. The same holds true for one of its iconic characters, Venom. While the look of the character and several of his powers and abilities should be familiar to fans, this is a unique Venom story that we are excited for everyone to experience this October. When we decided to craft a Venom story, we knew we'd be making a bit of a tone shift. The best symbiote stories serve as an allegory. We all have darkness inside of us, but what would happen if we let it take over? With the introduction of the symbiote into our franchise, our heroes are forced to battle darkness in all its forms, added Paquette. We wanted to see them change, both inside and outside, and feel the effect it has on those around them. And when Venom takes control, they face the real danger that they could lose themselves and their loved ones forever. Which, hands down, based on that whole entire sentence right there, that makes me a little bit more interested in Venom, because as we know for a fact that when Venom takes control, there's a real danger. Like, it's like we're seeing Peter lose his loved ones before our very eyes. Because as you guys know, with that symbiote, we already know for a fact that when Venom takes over, it's an insanely different thing, especially from Peter's end, because you start feeling the effects of it. But following that, we also have some very news involving Tony Todd. Along with that, Jacida Chu explained and said this: Venom was brought to life by the sensational actor Tony Todd. We've long admired Tony, and we're so grateful to work with him to play Venom. His voice brings to life Insomniac's new monstrous design for the character, and senior art director Jacida Chu explains more. Our Venom was inspired by the comics, but there have been so many interpretations that it was fun to pick and choose what fits the game, said Chu. He has a unique take on the white spider icon and has an anatomy of a human. He also has powerful tendril attacks that can take many forms. It was challenging to find the right balance between liquid and solid in Venom's materials, as going too watery makes him too weak, and going too solid can turn him into a tentacle monster. Venom must look both powerful and semi-liquid at the same time, which is automatic effects. Following that, we also got the reveal of the limited edition Marvel Spider-Man 2 custom PS5 console, which hands down looks amazing. You guys know I love this thing, and I was also saying that we need to get a PS5 of this, but I was hoping it was going to be a Venom edition, but you know, they completely blew out of the water. I like this design way more, especially with the red and black. It looks so good. But following that, it says, that's right, Marvel Spider-Man 2 will be featured on custom PS5 hardware. The PS5 console Marvel Spider-Man 2 limited edition bundle has a custom console design with the symbiote closing in on our white spider icon. Additionally, a matching DualSense wireless controller is included, which again shows the symbiote threat creeping across the entire controller. The bundle also includes a voucher for a digital copy of the game, which I don't know about you guys. I might end up getting this thing. I don't know about you guys. This thing look fire. I'm gonna probably end up getting it. But following that, it also says, and you'll be thrilled to know that for those who already own a PS5 console, you'll be able to purchase these limited edition items separately as individual products if you want. For those of you who want to have a PS5 console with a disc drive, you can purchase the PS5 console covers, the PS5 digital edition console covers, Marvel Spider-Man 2 limited edition, and finally, you'll also be able to purchase the DualSense wireless controller Marvel Spider-Man 2 limited edition separately as well. We are very excited to announce that Marvel Spider-Man 2 limited edition PS5 console covers, PS5 digital edition covers, and DualSense wireless controller will be released on September 1st. Pre-orders begin on July 28th, which is in 8 days. But following it says, for players purchasing the full PS5 bundle, the included game voucher can be redeemed when Marvel Spider-Man 2 releases on October 20th. Players who purchase the bundle, which has a voucher for the digital standard edition of the game, will also get the same pre-order incentive items available to those who pre-order Marvel Spider-Man 2, including an early unlock Arachnite suit for Peter, and with 3 additional color variants, an early unlock Shadow Spider suit for Miles with 3 additional color variants, an early web grabber gadget, and 3 skill points. Now, without a doubt, let me know what you guys think about this, because like to me, obviously after seeing that story trailer, I gotta go watch that thing again. That's a banger. So without a doubt, if you guys haven't already, make sure to just go ahead and hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button as well. It's your boy Phoenix, and I'll see you guys later when there's spectacular, Spidey, webtastic, banger.